Hello everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're doing good this morning. Have a fabulous day wherever you are in this beautiful world of ours. I realize that we've got women now all around the world. We're in 150 countries. We have got most of our women, I would say, are in the United States, Canada, UK, and the English-speaking European countries. But we have people all over the place, and I'm so thrilled that we're finding a commonality amongst us. That there's something, or there's many things that hold us together. When we started 60 and Me, our prime focus was going to be, financial security, well-being, and independence. And independence kind of meant all that stuff that's, everything that's different. So travel, beauty, fashion, retirement, caregiving, following our passions, hobbies, all these things. And over the years, we've written hundreds of articles on these topics. And I hope that you go to our website, 60andme.com, and check them out. It's like we have this YouTube channel, of course, where you often watch this video. But if you're watching the video on YouTube and you've never actually gone to 60andme.com, it's all spelt out words, 60andme.com, you'll find an amazing selection of articles and lots of conversation. That's what's so cool. And of course, we have a Facebook group where you can go a little deeper on the conversations, and it's just 60 and Me. So anyway, I wanted to remind you of that though, because we do these videos that go up to YouTube, and I just want to make sure you know that this isn't the only place that I am. I'm all over the place. So anyway, thanks again for being here. Now, today's topic, first of all, my tea. I decided I'm talking about something today that needs a bit of strength. So I'm doing just my very simple English breakfast with milk, just like my mama used to make for me when I was little. And so you women in the UK are laughing, I know, because it's like coffee in the States. Everything is good with a cup of tea. Nice cup of tea. I said that before, but anyway, having my English breakfast cup of tea, and just want to chat with you about one of my least favorite subjects in the great scheme of things. And that's not just money, it's finding a job after 60. Now, this is a crazy situation that we're all facing. We all know that we're living longer, healthier, happier lives, and we're living into our 80s and 90s. It's not unusual to live to 100 these days, and we are all pretty focused on staying well. So when we think about the how we're going to fund all of that, we're not going to be probably working in a job bringing in an income. Now, the irony of it all is that your pension doesn't start until sometimes now 65 plus or 70 if you wait long enough to really make it work. And then beyond that, how do you make money to live? I mean, the world has not caught up with it yet, and there's a discrimination. We know there's an ageist perspective on job hunting. So you've got to take matters into your own hands. You really do. And the easiest, most straightforward way, and probably the most difficult way, is to start your own business. This is what I did with 60 and Me, and I'm really working every day to make it something that is a balance for me. I mean, of course, wouldn't we all like to just sail off into the sunset and travel around the world? And, it'd be great, but it isn't how it is. We have to keep working, and that's what I'm doing. So that gives you the most control because you're not working for someone else. But because many other people are working way past traditional retirement age and don't want to start their own business, you've got to find out some work. Now, we have a very nice blogger. He actually more than writes about this. He's Anthony Cirillo. He writes about all kinds of things, but caregiving, retirement. But this is about finding a job after 50 or after 60, actually. And it's tips on what you should do. And I think that this is a good, I think it's about 5 or 6 steps that you can take to maybe get you motivated to look at job hunting in a little different way. So, number 1, evaluate. Where are you? Be honest. You may have just given up your job. You maybe have been, let go. You may have lost your job 5 years ago, but here you are right now. Where are you? More than half of boomers, he says, have saved less than $10,000 for retirement. And I think there's some crazy number of people who actually, if they had to come up with $800 like right now today, they could not do it. So there's a lot of documentation now about the reality of older women and men in finding ways to pay the rent and to buy food. So having a financial plan is a necessity, not a optional for for older people. So working past retirement can be a great opportunity. I mean, Anthony says, it's best by starting at the beginning, gauging your own financial situation, and then going from there. I mean, perhaps you can manage, a few years, but how can you actually survive and sustain your current lifestyle? Do you need to make some changes? How much do you need going forward? Just think about medical expenses, for example. When should you collect Social Security? And you got to remember that getting a job as an older person is tough. Remember the movie The Intern with Robert De Niro? It was a kind of fun movie, a little bit of a fantasy, I guess, in some ways, but it was a very interesting movie, and he found out, obviously, that going back to work in his 70s changed his life. So I think that's one way of looking at working. If you say, I don't want to work anymore, I've worked all my life, I'm done, you might need to work. And if you do need to work, you might as well be doing something that's changing your life and making things better for you. Now, so the next thing you can choose is whether you're going to be self-employed or employed by someone else. We've talked a little bit about self-employment in terms of, just that being a really straightforward option. But I think you need to ask yourself, what are you going to do as self-employed? I mean, you could look at your own career where you've got your current expertise and become a consultant. There are plenty of companies, trust me, big companies that would love your expertise. They're hiring new people all the time who just haven't got the perspective that you have. They haven't been trained. They just haven't had the experience or the business expertise. So I think it's really, really important that you recognize and have confidence, in yourself. Anthony mentions a group called SCORE, SCORE, which is a U.S. nonprofit that advises small businesses on how to get engaged. And I know that there are similar agencies worldwide that can help you come up with ideas how to be a consultant or how to be working in a part-time basis in a world that you know. Marketing people in these large corporations are looking for perspective. The challenge, of course, is marketing yourself. It's getting out there, telling people what you can do, and being compelling. Another option if you don't want to be self-employed, because believe me, self-employed is not for everyone, I can tell you. It's tough. You have to work really hard, and it may not seem fair at times. Like, I've just done this for 40 years. Do I really have to work this hard to start a new business? But it's a choice, and in the long term, for my opinion, it's a good choice. Another thing, though, taking a job. Now, you have to take a job perhaps at a smaller organization. You might have to take a drop in salary. And you might need to work strange hours. I mean, I know someone right now, a friend of mine, who is in this situation. She's in her 70s. She needs to work, and she's found a job at a bookstore. And yes, I mean, I think it's minimum wage, but she loves her books, and it's okay. It's enough to pay that little extra that she needs. So I think that's something to think about. I mean, it's a little humility exercise. May not be fair, may not be nice, may feel uncomfortable, but use your networks and find something that works for you. Honestly, even go down the high street and look for signs. Why not? Retail's okay. So it's still tiring retail, but you're on your feet, but still. Another thing you've got to do is to fight ageism. And there's plenty of groups now. Ashton Applewhite, someone that I interviewed, she has a great group and a website, Facebook group, where you can just get some tools for actually having the conversation about ageism. Because there's some things that people will come back, when you're going for a job interview. This is what they'll come back. They may even, I don't think they'll say, are you too old? Because that's against the law. But they'll say things like, do you think you can stand, you have the stamina? Are you going to, how many years do you think you might, be working? I mean, there's certain questions they can't ask you. And in the States, it's a little more, even more, rigid, but they still find ways of using HR to get around all of that. But anyway, that's the thing. Fight ageism. Learn how to have that conversation. Say, statistics show that older workers stay around longer, not shorter. Millennial mindset is 2 or 3 years. You may be prepared to work longer. So say that, use that argument. They may give the impression that you're not going to be energetic enough, but the truth is, we know that's not true. Of course, sometimes you have more chronic illnesses, some things you have to use medications for blood pressure or some inflammation, arthritis, but hey, you can do it. You can show your energy by just showing up, looking okay, maybe wearing some jewelry, just making it feel like you've got ideas and energy. They may think that you're too overqualified. This is a big one. Well, I think you're too overqualified for this job. You probably will get bored, or the salary probably isn't what you're going to be expecting. You've got to be prepared to say, hey, it's cool. I'm okay. I don't mind working longer hours. I don't mind working for a younger person. I don't mind taking a cut in the salary that I'm used to. I just need to work, and I want to work. And if you've got that attitude, I think you can go a lot further. Another final one that he mentions, and I think it's a really good one, is that you're not technologically savvy. Now, this is sometimes true. I know people in their 70s who just do not want anything to do with technology, and there's plenty of jobs. Well, I say there's plenty of jobs. There are some jobs that you can do that don't require you to know technology, but most these days require some kind of familiarity. So you've got to be, committed to at least get the basics down. And again, we've written lots of articles on this on 60andme.com. You can go up and check them out. We've got a couple of bloggers who are just great at giving you the basics. Also, Anthony puts at the end of the article a whole list of resources. Really, really cool. Things like, I won't go through all of these because he actually lists them in the article, but workforce50.com, retiredbrains.com, Seniors for Hire, that's actually a career center, and then there's all kinds of others, retireworkforce.com. There's another group called Encore.com, which is encore.org. So there's plenty of resources, and I would encourage you to just not, stop now. If you're really needing a job and you need to get out there, to go check out some of these resources. And I wish you all the best. I know this is tough. I really do. But I also know that you need to eat and pay the rent and travel and do these extra things. You may be just on the line of coping, but are you happy that that you want to do things? Pursue a hobby, start painting, just travel a bit. All those things are possible with a little extra money. It's just the world we live in. Okay, everyone. Well, I do hope that you found this useful, positive way, that you've got some resources now and some ideas. Go check out the article. I'll leave the link for you. And thanks, Anthony, for going through all of this. It's a great piece. And I really do hope that you have a wonderful day-to-day, get inspired. And tell us, how have you, do you still need employment? Are you still looking for a job in your 60s? And if so, what are you doing? How are you approaching it? Okay, everyone. Well, do have a wonderful day. Take good care of yourself, and we'll speak to you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.